JJ Jinx!
Truck Stop Knives!
JJ Jinx! Truck Stop Knives! And I'm here with a very special video. I'm wearing my wintry robe because it's cold in my basement. I heard the boiler kick on not too long ago, but it takes a while for the place to heat up, so no problem. I got my nice robe here to film my 100 subscriber special video. So I thought that what I would do to celebrate would be to tell a little bit about my story, about my journey to where I am now today as a knife guy and a knife enthusiast, and kind of where it all started. So there are multiple origination points. It's one of those things where once you realize it, you kind of look back and you're like, I kind of always was this way. I just didn't know it. It's like coming out as being gay. And then once you recognize it, it's like it empowers you. And now you know who you are and what you like, and more power to you. So my story began, one of the beginnings of my story was at my old job. I traveled a lot, and I was making a trip from eastern Illinois to central Oklahoma, and there is nothing in between those two cities except St. Louis. And just outside St. Louis, I would always drive by this billboard. It was a Case Victorinox BudK factory outlet, and they also had like kitchen cutlery and things like that. And it was a nice place for me just to stop, and it had all kinds of neat stuff to look at, and it was just an excuse to like stretch your legs and rest, take a break from driving. And then one day I decided I'm going to buy a knife. And so I did. I looked at the Case knives, and keep in mind, I knew nothing about knives back then. I didn't know if what I was looking at was cheap crap or good stuff. I just knew it was a lot of money. And Case knives makes very classic styles of, pocket knives. They don't even have clips. They just go into your pocket, old school. And then I was looking at the Victorinox knives, and I was like, I don't know, these multifunction gizmos they don't excite me too much. Not really my thing. But then I was looking at the BudK knives, and I was thinking, I kind of want something that looks classic. And so I bought this. This is a leather sheath, and inside is my BudK 110. So I didn't know it at the time, but what I ended up purchasing is one of the most well-recognized pocket knives pretty much ever. Every knife enthusiast knows the BudK brand and knows or has a BudK 110, or somebody in their family passed it down to them or something like that. Now at the time, I thought this knife was freaking awesome. I still do. I have nothing but good things to say about this knife, and I was like, it's the perfect size, and it's nice and heavy. So my opinion about knives has evolved over time. Now this is just too much knife. It's too heavy. I've learned to appreciate different things, but I thought that this would be an appropriate knife to use in celebration of me to open this BudK box. This is one of those slimmed down versions. They used to sound like they're really big ones, but I'm okay with this. And as the years went on, I started to want to learn more about knives. So I went to YouTube. And I started watching videos, and that's when I found out that Case is actually a really good company. I actually went back and bought one another trip later. It was a rust lock. I was curious about that mechanism. And then I started seeing these other videos of unboxings. It was BudK mystery unboxings. And I was like, so these people don't know what's in these things, in these packages. It's all a surprise. And back then, we're talking 2013, I want to say. BudK would put a lot of knives into all their stuff. That's pretty much all they sold. None of the survival things or white supremacist paraphernalia that they schlep now. Might as well keep this out in case I need it. So I was like, I want to do that. So I bought my first BudK mystery box way back then. Only I didn't film it. I never really thought to film it. And I did it again, and I think a third time, and I started telling my brother about it. And he was like, oh, that sounds really fun. You should film it and put it on YouTube like those guys. I was like, yeah, maybe I will. And it wasn't a while later until I started doing that. And then, oh God. BudK just overwhelmed my camera. I have to prop this thing up, so I've been using the box for the torch. But it failed me just then. Excuse me while I find something. How about my Shadow Grass Blades box? What is this? I don't even remember what this is. Oh. This is, I think, a mossy oak thing that I got a while ago. I probably did a video on it. If not, and you want to see more, just tell me. Sorry about that interruption. So what happened next was I was watching this really great music video from an artist known as LaFear. I'll put a link to his video down below. You should really check it out. Even if you're not into rap, this guy is old school OC. Let me get rid of this paper. And even though the video is pretty old, there's still people actively commenting on it. So my friends, I showed the video to my friends, they loved it. And we made some comments. And my friend Soupmaster looked at my username there and was like, I wonder what's in that channel. My friend JJ Jinx's channel. So he clicked on it and brought up my channel, and I had a few videos posted there. I wasn't hiding it. I just didn't think to share it at the moment. So I probably would have told my friends eventually, but they discovered it, and I actually got pretty good feedback. And so we've done some BudK unboxings with them. And things just kind of progressed from there. Got my brother involved in some of them. Now, as usual, don't remember what I ordered, so I'm just going to glance at the list real quick. Oh yeah, I did order that, and that. Okay. So there is a mystery package in here. That's good. I always try to get one of those. So this time I went with the small fixed blades kit, which I think comes with 4 or 5. I don't remember how many. For $20 you get like 4 or 5 fixed blade knives. Haven't done that one yet, so I gave it a whirl. And I also got, let's see, where do I start? I don't want to, I'm looking for the special thing I got. Here it is. Yes, this is what I got to commemorate my 100 viewer special. The A10 Warthog bullet knife. Now, I saw this thing in the catalog very recently. I don't think they've been selling this for very long. And I showed it to my friends, and they were like, "Oh, you have to buy that." And I was like, "Oh my God, you're right. This is perfect." I was thinking about something big and cool and novelty, because that's just what I'm into for my channel. Holy crap. Look at, oh my, it's heavy. Look at this. It's beautiful. So I guess it's a life-size replica of the bullet shot by the A10 Warthog. And it's a knife. Holy shit. That's a sword. It's cold. Now that's a big knife and bullet. All right. So maybe I should put a sticker on here for like JJ Jinx 100 viewers or something. I want to read the packaging to get some of the dimensions. Gosh, it's hefty. Imagine walking into work with this in your pocket. Oh, it's about as long as my leg. It's a pretty plain looking blade. It's better quality than I thought it would be. I was truly expecting garbage. It says stainless China, handcrafted in China. There's a single pin. Looks like it's a copper finished pin holding the pivot into place maybe. And then the other side, oh, it's hollow. So it's a slip joint, right? Well, I don't want to do that. Ugh, okay. Yeah. And then I can lay it on display like this. Well, on a flatter surface maybe. Oh, on the back it says GAU-8, 30 mm, 30 millimeter. So that is the A10 Warthog bullet knife. My trophy. I'm gonna put that in a special place. So I really liked opening BudK stuff, and even when I forget what I ordered, that works out for me because then it's totally mystery. Totally a mystery all around. Okay, what else do we have? The catalog. I might have already looked through this one. I'm not sure. They all kind of look the same after a while. Okay, I'm just going for the next huge thing. I got a big old Timberwolf custom steel series. It's big, and I think this is part of the fixed blade section. So in the box I got the knife wrapped up here, a sheath wrapped up here. Okay. And I remember the unique feeling of my first unboxing, and I just remember sitting at my desk, fiddling with these knives just all night, and like, wow, I just found such a great new hobby, and being very happy and excited about it. So these sheaths I've seen before. They're not very good leather. They never are really for BudK stuff, and I don't care about the sheath. I care about the knives. So then, after I started filming them, I started to make a little personality a little bit that I usually ended up dropping about 10 minutes in because I would get distracted by the knives. So I just kind of dropped the whole like personality altogether. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, we got the knife condom. It's like a shark fin. And it's greasy. So if I can get this out of here, I can tell you about it. Here we go. Maybe. What I see immediately are brass. Oh my god. It is like dripping in grease. What the hell? Ugh. Alright, points against it for that. They really just glommed on the grease. Look at all this. Well, it's a black knife, fixed blade, brass guard, brass pommel, lanyard hole, a very greasy multicolored wood. Looks like we got red, brown, and green patterning in there. This is better quality than they usually make. I'm looking around for like a rag or something. I can't. Gosh. I don't know why it has so much freaking grease on it. I guess that's just part of the package. Oof. I don't quite like that. Anyway, we have a clip point blade. It's got an okay edge on it. You could put a sharp edge on anything I say. And so what was this? This was a Ridge Runner? Timberwolf. I'm just not... I don't feel, the more I hold this, the greasier my hand gets. I'm going to put it into its sheath and then, like, deal with it later. Ugh, BudK, what are you doing to me? Let's get into the next one. We have another fixed blade knife. This is a big box, but very light. It's called the Special Agent Stinger. It includes concealed shoulder harness. And we have a picture of the shoulder harness there. On the back, there's complete your special agent arsenal with these new items from United Cutlery. So they have a whole bunch of knives here that, I guess one of them like attaches to your wrist, one of them attaches to your butt. Sure. Oh, weird. So this one at the very end, it's like a boot knife. I actually have this one somewhere. I remember getting it years ago, back when I lived in Illinois. The Stinger 2 dagger with ABS boot sheath. And it was actually pretty nice. I mean, it was a long time ago when I decided it was nice. I might think differently of it now, but no, for like a cheap knife with a plastic sheath, I actually kind of liked it. So I'm hoping to be just as surprised with this one. Okay, we got a piece of plastic that says Wasauru. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Wasauru? And something in German? It's hard to read because it's like printed on transparent plastic. Yeah, that's German. Nicht zum Versuch geeignet. It's made in China though, right? Well, here's the shoulder harness. It's got elastic on it. I'm not going to bother trying to model it. I just want to see the knife. So this is presumably nylon. Okay, and inside the nylon it has a plastic scabbard for the knife. And then the knife itself. How much grease does this one have? There's grease on my 110. So, this has become my favorite hobby. Right up there with karaoke and hiking and travel is another big hobby of mine. And so travel and truck stop knives, they go hand in hand. And that's why I kind of went with the whole novelty aspect. So the handle on this knife is very, very similar to the other one I just mentioned. It's a little bit rubbery, and it has ergonomics and grippy jimping kind of molded into the plastic. And the blade is partially serrated and is a spear point style blade. Now, the strange thing is, if you look at that serrations, you can see it sort of exponentially decays as it goes out. I have not seen that before. That's different. That's interesting. It's very light, heavy on the blade side. It's at least a partial tan construction, and I remember that being the case for the other one too, because they had these holes cut out pretty much specifically just to show you, yeah, it's full tang. Whoops, had a slight interruption. My roommate needed me to help him find something, and I was like, hey, dipshit, I'm doing my 100 subscriber video. I can't be interrupted. God. I didn't really say that to him. I like my roommates. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Well, we found his thing, and then he took off. Anyway, let's get back to it. I am going to open this Ridge Runner, a staple of BudK. Ridge Runner has been around for a very long time in the BudK catalog, and most of what they make is absolute crap, which you can say about pretty much all the BudK catalog, really. However, their quality has been increasing over time. I mean, not to the level of, like, Boker or Essie or something like that, but certainly better than what it was. And I think a part of that might be, I mean, I can't know for certain, that maybe the demand for quality is there finally, and they're feeling it. I don't know. I feel like I want to interview somebody who works at BudK and ask them these things. So, this is the Ridge Runner fixed blade, and I think that's all the fixed blades. So there were 3, not whatever I said before. Maybe I did say 3 before. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. This is a kind of a thinner, more slender knife than the others, I feel like. I kind of like the shape of it so far. I don't know. I can't really say for certain why. It's just pleasing to me. It's the way that it's slender, and that's all I got to say. It's just a feeling, first impression. And the knife itself, kind of disappointed. I liked it better in the sheath. It's very light. Like for a fixed blade knife, one with full tang construction, I want a little bit of heft. Maybe it's a good thing that it's light. I don't know. It comes with a shoestring on the back. Ergonomic finger ridges. Some people call those finger choils, but maybe that is the technical word for it. I always thought of a choil as the part at the very beginning of the blade that lets you be able to sharpen the entire edge. So maybe a choil is just the name for the shape. Whatever, that's fine. So on one side there's a bear, I'm assuming that's a bear print. And yeah, because on the other side is a profile, a half face of a bear. So this is the bear knife. Not much else to say about it. It's kind of a modified drop point with wood handles. Pretty generic, but I don't know. The shape kind of pleased me. It's nylon, but it's not flimsy. You can maybe kind of hear that it's sort of shaped to it like it's a, I don't know, slightly higher density nylon of some kind. Not sure. So for the 3 fixed blades for $20, this one didn't like it too much. This is the shoulder holster tactical secret agent weird serrations concealed carry knife. Not sure how I feel about a knife being advertised as concealed carry. I don't know. Are they allowed to advertise something like that? I guess so. They do that with guns, right? Like, hey, this gun is really small. It's perfect for concealed carry. Anyway, then we go on to the next couple of items. These are the last 2. And I don't remember exactly what they are. So this one says Tomahawk. And I have opened a few knives by this brand. It's generally some kind of appropriation thing where it's like Native American themed. Well, I don't know why I ordered it. I remember now. Okay. I didn't expect it to come in this box. So this was a knife I saw. It was real cheap. It was like $7-8. And the reason why I was kind of interested in it is because it's a neck knife. So it comes with those beady beads. Oh, there you go, Native American. That has a clasp sort of deal. You put it around your neck, and now it's tactical. But what caught my eye about this one is it's got this little sheath at the top that holds the whole thing, so I should be able to just pull this off. Is there a button? No, it just doesn't quite fit. So there's this protrusion right there, kind of like a pimple, and that's to make space for the thumb stud. Problem is, there's no easy way to get it out. Like, there should be a groove or something, and now the case is like spliced open a little bit. BudK, everyone. So this is just a little teeny tiny tactical survival knife type deal. It's got like a glass breaker, seatbelt cutter. One of these days I want to set up a rig, design something to actually test the efficacy of these glass breakers that come on so many knives. I'm thinking something where they're all dropped at the same height, or maybe some kind of a jig where you can sort of modulate the force. You'd have to replace the pane of glass every single time because it'll presumably crack in different ways. Anyway, just something I'm thinking of. I could imagine something similar for the seatbelt cutter. Maybe like an Instron. Can you make an Instron at home? I don't know. Let's look at the rest of the blade, shall we? And there it is, just a very, very simple clip point black blade. It's a liner lock, it actually locked up. And, well, that's pretty much it. I did kind of like the pattern on it. It sort of looks futuristic and industrial. Holding it, feeling it, using it, it's not very good. It's not comfortable. That thumb stud is sharp on your thumb, and it takes a lot to actuate it, which is probably a good thing. I don't know if that's because it has a strong detent. It does have a little bit of a detent, but I think it's just an awkward angle. Plus, it kind of looks like, I can't really tell, but it looks like the end of it is kind of bent slightly. The scale, I can't tell. Maybe that's why I was having so much trouble getting it out of this thing. Get it back in, sort of. Not very secure. Okay, so now my curiosity is sated on that one. Last knife in the package is a Havoc Cry. Havoc, said the green skull. I do not remember this one. Let's see what's in it. Oh, got it. Is there tape on this thing? I don't think so. No, there's not. Oh yeah. Okay, I remember now. So, a while back, I got a knife in a mystery box that had a Grim Reaper on it, and I saw this one was for sale, and it also has a Grim Reaper on it, and it actually kind of looks neat. It's like three-dimensional, painted, kind of a badass looking Grim Reaper, if you ask me. Red eyes. Not very friendly. Not like the Grim Reaper from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I knew that the other side would just be nothing, because that's what they do with these kinds of knives. But the other funny thing about it, it's got a flipper hand tab. So I'm assuming it's open assisted. It's also got thumb studs way up here. I don't even know if you can... How are you supposed to get it open with that? You know what I mean? You don't almost have to open it like a rust lock, like swoop your thumb around. That doesn't look useful at all. Well, anyway. And it stops there because it's a scythe. It is a open-assisted karambit-style scythe with a Grim Reaper on it. So that completes my Grim Reaper collection. It's got odd jimping across the top. I'm assuming that's what it is. It's not a saw blade. But yeah, they gotta make it look a little sinister, I suppose. But I do think it's kind of funny how it only opens to there. What do you do with that? I'm gonna have to prepare food with it and just see how that goes. So anyway, this is my favorite hobby now. And I've come a long way since I started with this guy. And technically, this wasn't my very first knife. My very first knife was probably the Victorinox Bantam that I got when I was a kid for Boy Scouts. I've had a few knives as a teenager. I've showed those off on my channel because I still have a lot of those. And, well, I'm still learning. I'm still collecting. I'm still figuring out what I like, what I don't like. And I'm going to do a whole series of videos. So this is the big announcement, where I buy a whole variety of knives from Amazon through various storefronts, and I use the knives, I carry them, I bring them to work, I use them for a whole week each, and then at the end of the week, I give you my thoughts. And I have been doing this for the past 2.5 months or so, and I have enough knives to keep going probably through the rest of February. So I'm going to start putting out those videos, and some of the knives are a little weird and wacky, but a lot of them are actually really surprisingly good. And I wasn't really going for the novelty aspect. I was going for budget, utility, sort of high value kind of knives. So if that's your thing, then look forward to it, because it's going to be a lot. Anyway, this has been JJ Jinx. Truck Stop Knives!